Alvin Bragg, in a move to prevent a former assistant district attorney, Mark Pomerantz, who wrote a book after leaving the district attorney's office after having a fight and a disagreement with Alvin Bragg over whether or not to prosecute and bring an indictment against Donald Trump. He wrote a book called The People versus Donald Trump. And that is who got subpoenaed to testify to the House Judiciary Committee. And Alvin Bragg is coming in and asking a judge in federal court, this is in the Southern District of New York, he's asking a federal judge to prevent that subpoena and to issue an order to say there can be no additional subpoenas because it would interfere with his case.
Break down what the District Attorney Bragg said. Chairman Jordan's subpoena is an unconstitutional attempt to undermine an ongoing New York felony criminal prosecution investigation. Ask yourself, what is unconstitutional about the Congress under Article 1, under their constitutional authority, from issuing a subpoena to a former DA in an office that is taking federal money to investigate a federal candidate for public office? So what is the unconstitutional attempt? So that's number one. Number two, as our complaint details, this is an unprecedented, illegitimate interference by Congress that lacks any legal merit and defies basic principles of federalism. So, I heard a couple of senators talking about separation of powers. This isn't a separation of powers case. This is a clash between a local district attorney whose office takes federal funds and Congress who dispenses those federal funds. Congress has a right to oversee that.
No one's saying the DA's office has to take the money.
No,
but they do.
No, they take it and they're using it to prosecute a president.
Yep.
That's a former president and candidate.
It's the reason why they have oversight. You take our money, we can then ask you questions. If they don't, I don't know where their oversight would come. Maybe on the fact that it's interfering with a federal election. That might be enough in this matter. But in a lot of matters, that the nexus to why we get oversight at these committees is because you take the federal money.
Listen to what Bragg says. The committee subpoena burdens the district attorney. It's not even served on you. And the criminal justice system, and this is what I love, by politicizing Mr. Trump's trial and undermining the public's faith in the integrity of the criminal justice system. Now. Well, I have news for you, Mr. Bragg. This is a political trial. You have politicized it. The public has no faith in the integrity of your justice system. And then it goes on to say that the committee subpoena to Pomerantz is plainly aimed at, quote, burdening the district attorney's office and trying to distract them from the preparation of your criminal case. What preparation? You need to be ready. You indicted.
Interesting here, one of the defendants in the case that Alvin Bragg brought is against his own former lawyer.
What makes this very unique is that the person who got a subpoena is also a defendant in the case. That hasn't been discussed as much in the news. Alvin Bragg didn't just bring this lawsuit against Jim Jordan as chairman of the House Judiciary Committee. He also brought it against his former assistant DA, who wrote the book, who opened himself up. If you're going to write a book about prosecuting Donald Trump inside the office that did prosecute Donald Trump, and you leave, and you go on your book tour, and you cash in, are you really going to be able to tell a congressional committee you can't talk about it? I mean, he decided to write the book. He decided to open himself up. But interestingly, Alvin Bragg also sued him to say he cannot actually comply with the subpoena.
He waived any privileges he might have had because he put everything in this book, at least everything that we publicly know about the case and the theory of the case. So it's out there.
He's written a book about it. What's confidential about it? What is going to come out of this that hasn't already been exposed to the public before? Why are you putting a restraint on him saying what he has broadcast all over the world as to what happened in the office and that led to his resignation? What's the secret?
I think it makes Alvin Bragg look weaker. And he already has disappointed a lot of people on the left. I think that's why SNL was making fun of him.
Yep.
Saturday Night Live is starting to make fun of Alvin Bragg because they realize people put so much hope into this case, and then what's the crime here? And so liberals are also kind of upset. And now Alvin Bragg is trying to save face by bringing a federal lawsuit against Jim Jordan.